very much for having me. It's great to see so many students interested in nutrition, so thank you. I hope you get some value from this. It's very intimidating being in front of you guys, but I want to talk to you about nutrition myths, because I know how confusing it is being bombarded by social media and articles. I'm Mr. Kuman. I'm a registered associate nutritionist, and I believe that we all deserve to be the best possible versions of ourselves. So I transform people's health and food mindset by giving consultations and delicious recipes. Let's get on. So I want to ask you, what does healthy eating mean to you? I know for me, it means a balanced diet, everything in moderation, and living with no restrictions. In fact, I was at a life coaching conference the other weekend, and it was at the break, and they brought out this big tray of donuts, like jam-filled. I was so excited. And as I reached in for a donut, a guy came up to me and whispered in my ear and said, "What kind of nutritionist are you then, eating donuts?" And I'll tell you what I said later on. So put your hands up if you've ever worked out the calories before you've eaten food. Yeah? I have as well. Or you've gone on a juice detox, or you've gone on a keto diet, or like 5-2 diet. I think the majority have maybe tried some sort of diet, right? But the truth is that diet should be personalised to you, and calorie counting doesn't equal health. And we're all different. Look how different we are, our personalities. One diet doesn't fit us all. I know carbs have been vilified, and I don't know, celebrities have cut out carbs, and I'll tell you why this is a bad idea. So first of all, carbohydrates make you happy. The serotonin, the happy hormone, we need carbohydrates to make the happy hormone. And also, not all carbs are equal. It's the quality and quantity of carbohydrates we need to focus on. Think about, you've got the whole grain carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. You've got stuff like quinoa, sweet potato, whole grain bread, whole grain rice. These contain a lot of fibre, a lot of nutrients. Even white potatoes, we kind of think that sweet potato is more valuable than white potato. You feel like white potato we should maybe cut out. But actually, white potato contains potassium, magnesium, and sweet potato contains calcium and vitamin C. They both got different benefits to give. One is not greater than the other. But the refined carbohydrates, the simple carbohydrates, like cakes, biscuits, white bread, they have the fibre and B vitamins have been removed from it. So we should try and focus on the whole grain varieties. And cutting out carbs is unsustainable. So next slide, please. So when the guy said, "What kind of nutritionist are you?" this is what I told him. I said, I'm a human being. If you cut out foods, what happens if you cut out your favourite food group, like you cut out donuts, for instance, or chocolate? How do you feel? Do you feel like you're focusing on that though? Like you can't have it until you want it even more? No? Wow, if I cut something out, like I can't stop thinking about it. Like if I cut out chocolate or I don't know, my favourite stuff, I can't stop thinking about it. And this is why I teach that we shouldn't restrict ourselves, because you feel deprived. As soon as you cut out your pasta, let's say your pasta, you feel this overwhelming urge to eat. You just can't stop thinking about it. And so you end up going on a binge. Like let's say you cut out biscuits, you try one biscuit and then you end up having the whole packet of biscuits, right? We've all been like that. And then you feel kind of out of control and ashamed. And then you go back to dieting. And this is why diets don't work. If they worked, we would all be on them. And this is why they don't work. Okay. So let's go on some nutrition myths. Who has heard of collagen? Maybe you've seen it on beauty bloggers, yeah? It's meant to make our skin tight and our hair strong and nails and stuff. Well, actually, the scientific evidence is not quite there. So collagen is the main structural protein in humans. and it plays a vital role in tissues, bones, tendons. So it does play a role in, skin firmness. But actually, this is why it's important as well to look further into the studies, because actually the studies are sponsored by the companies that are making them. So they want the results to work because they want to sell more, right? So, and the systematic review, which is one of the best studies, found that the benefits to be inconclusive. So I wouldn't waste your money on collagen. I would just eat like vitamin C foods, because vitamin C has so much collagen, like for instance oranges, sweet potato, and just have a healthy, balanced diet. And these beauty bloggers that you see, well, they're probably living a relaxed life in the sun and having a healthy, balanced diet anyway, so I don't think it's the collagen. Okay, fresh versus frozen. Who thinks fresh is best? Put your hands up. Okay, who thinks frozen is best? No. Well, I thought you'd all think fresh is best. But actually, studies show that there's no consistent differences between the two. With fresh food, the vitamins actually lose over time. So with peas, for instance, over half the vitamin C content is lost within a day. And frozen food, you freeze it at its peak, at its best, and it's retaining all the nutrients if it's frozen well. And frozen food is cheaper, so I would actually recommend buying frozen food. You don't need to spend a lot of money on organic fresh veg. Is dairy bad? So another food group that is vilified is dairy. Is anyone dairy free here? Out of choice? Okay. So dairy is actually one of the most nutritious food you have, and it's one of the complete food groups on this planet. It contains all those vitamins: calcium, protein, phosphorus, vitamin A, B12, vitamin D, and this is great for bones, muscle function. The next slide. So the other option is plant-based milks. Now these have their place. With dairy is cows is a big, huge contributor to greenhouse gases. So we should try and have some plant-based milks there too for sustainability reasons. But actually, plant-based milks have fewer calories, which is great maybe for weight management, but it only has 2% almonds, which therefore has little protein in it. And the rest is fortified because it doesn't contain all the nutrients like milk does. It has to be fortified with calcium, which fortified means that they add calcium, they add B12, iodine into the fortified milk. So make sure you look at that label. And yeah, if you're a child, if you're pregnant, I recommend to have dairy because it's full of goodness. Yeah, and also plant-based milks, they contain added sugars and emulsifiers because they don't need to be kept in the fridge. The long shelf life. Okay, so this fruit contains too much sugar. So when you make fruit juice, all the fiber's been taken out of it, and you're kind of left with that kind of, I don't know if you've ever made juice in a juice machine, but you're left with that kind of like skin, like the fibrous left over. And that means when the fiber's taken out of it, you get kind of a bigger rush of glucose into your blood, and the fiber keeps the blood sugar level. So when you have the whole fruit, you have all the fiber in there, and you have a slow release of glucose. But when you have juice, you have more sugar in there. That's why we've been told to limit our fruit juice to 150 ml. And also the action of chewing the whole fruit means that it's slower to digest also. So yeah, try and have about 3 portions of fruit a day.